Now this is an interesting story. I gave you the bankruptcy the other day. Was it Stockton, California? Then we had San Bernardino, California, file for bankruptcy, and they're realizing more people are fleeing our area than anywhere else in the country. There are more bankruptcy or more foreclosures, therefore more people leaving. Therefore, city revenue worse off than ever. We need to do something. And the word eminent domain came up in a discussion. Eminent domain. What would the city council do with eminent domain? And if they do it and it works, then you know, because the rest of the municipalities across the nation are in the same trouble, maybe not at that level yet, will be soon, etc. Because you got to understand, a lot of municipalities borrowed money from the bankers to get through the budget year. Okay, we're good. And then are going to be looking again every year. It's going to, hey, we're back in the red again, but we already borrowed money that we still have to pay back, plus we're in the red. Now what? Uh-oh. Bankruptcy time. But, hey, wait. San Bernardino, California did something very interesting. I wonder if we could do the same. What is that? They didn't do it yet, but check this out. Now, the headline is San Bernardino, California began eminent domain talks in secret. When I first read this, I'm like, oh, here we go. What are they agreeing to in secret? Forgot whether they got to steal people's land in secret? No. Not the land, the mortgages. Check this out. Officials in San Bernardino began talking with a private investor group about a controversial proposal to condemn distressed mortgages back in January, 5 months before the investor group's involvement became public, county records show. And after an initial telephone call on January 31st, the county signed an agreement to keep their communications secret, etc. The novel plan, developed by San Francisco-based Mortgage Resolution Partners, to use the government's power of eminent domain to seize and restructure poor-performing mortgages in a bid to aid troubled homeowners, has raised the hackles of many on Wall Street, especially investors in mortgage-backed securities in the real estate business. It's okay for Wall Street to rape everybody, but just trying to fix the problem, if it affects Wall Street in any way, okay, we can't have that. I gotta have my cake and eat it too. What's wrong with you peasants? Traditionally, eminent domain is used by governments to seize properties to build highways and other public projects. On Thursday, prominent bond manager Jeffrey Gundlach, who oversees more than $38 billion in assets, joined the rising chorus of opposition by calling the plan to restructure mortgages with eminent domain grossly unconstitutional. Evidence that officials of the county, which had set up a special committee to study the idea, acted to maintain the secrecy of its talks with mortgage resolution partners, is opening a new round of criticism. We are gravely concerned that a public policy proposal purportedly created to change the course of our housing market would be kept clear of public view for months, said Paul Herrera, Government Affairs Director for San Bernardino Area Realtors Associations. Whatever its merits and faults, they need to be vetted publicly and transparently, which is true. The county records obtained by Reuters through a California public record request showed that officials with mortgage resolution partners and the county either talked on the phone or met in person a half dozen times from January through June, etc. In June, Reuters first reported that San Bernardino County, located in the parched inland tracts of east of Los Angeles, was giving serious consideration to the Mortgage Resolution Partners' eminent domain proposal. The county has seen its fortunes rise and fall with the building boom and subsequent bust, and is struggling with one of California's highest unemployment rates and one of the nation's highest foreclosure rates. The Inland Valley Association of Realtors, which is one of California's biggest realtor associations, was one of 18 investment trade groups, including the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association and the American Bankers Association, that sent a letter to San Bernardino County opposing the use of eminent domain to seize mortgages. Stephen Gluckstern, chairman of Mortgage Resolution Partners, said there was never any intent to do something without involving the public or without involving a public discussion. He said the investment group asked the county to sign the non-disclosure because it was still researching the eminent domain proposal. Gluckstern said Mortgage Resolution Partners still had similar non-disclosure agreements with several other counties and municipalities that it is talking to. Imagine that. There's more than one. More than San Bernardino in trouble looking at this idea. We are simply trying to protect documents, he said. There was no intention that this was going to get slipped in under the rug. David Wirt, spokesman for San Bernardino County, said the county has made no decision on whether to use eminent domain to condemn mortgages and has made no decision about working with Mortgage Resolution Partners. He said after the media began questioning this thing, he asked the firm to end the non-disclosure agreement, and they did. So now it's public. On Friday, the group established by San Bernardino County to study the proposal was scheduled to hold its first meeting. The group is looking at whether it is appropriate to use the power of eminent domain to forcibly purchase distressed mortgages. Rather than evict homeowners through foreclosure, the public-private entity would offer residents a fresh mortgage with reduced debts. Sounds like a winning situation to me. Wall Street, you can either have a house sit there and rot with nobody in it and claim on your balance sheets. That's the key word. We've got all these assets. We're a $50 billion company. We hit. How many of those are paying? Well, I don't know. But these are our assets. We've got the houses, even if they're not paying. And what are the houses worth? Well, 2 years ago. No, what are they worth again now? Oh, in other words, your $50 billion turned to 10. Yeah. But on paper, it looks good. So that's maybe why they don't want to go forward with something like this, because right now, even if no one's living in the house is still an asset on the books, and this is how many assets we have. So if we ever had to file bankruptcy as a corporation, we'll just sell off the assets. And if that ever happened and they sold off the assets, everyone's going to scratch their head. Man, we had to give those away for a freaking fire sale. I thought we had $50 billion in assets. Now it turned out to be only 10. We were off by, 400% or whatever. Oh, sorry about that. The county, he said that there are more than 150,000 families in San Bernardino County who owe more on their mortgage than their homes are worth and need help to stay in their homes. He said finding a solution would benefit everyone. That's true. The county is home to the financially struggling city of San Bernardino, which with a population of over 200,000 is the largest municipality in the county and could become the third California city to file for bankruptcy this year. They already did. The San Bernardino County voted Tuesday to file bankruptcy. That's right. Some local officials have blamed the recession and high rate of home foreclosure for contributing to the city's financial plight. The county's eminent domain idea, meanwhile, is garnering support from some economists who see it as a way to help cash-strapped borrowers stay in their homes by significantly reducing their monthly mortgage payments. A growing list of economists is endorsing the plan, including Yale University economist Robert Shiller. You know he's a shill. Yeah. Who say household debt debt reduction is necessary to reignite the economy. Let me go a step further. I know you're from Yale, and I'm from my laundry room, but go a step further. You say household debt reduction is necessary to reignite the economy. I'm going to go ahead and remove the word household. Okay, so let me reread that. Robert Shiller says debt reduction across the board is necessary to reignite the economy. That's more like it, Mr. Yale graduate. Or was that professor? Excuse me. He's just Yale University economist. So, being that your house is the most expensive piece of debt you'll ever have, second is your car, and they're so far apart as far as money goes, it's not even funny. Most of the time, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 car, $200,000 house. obviously. So just doing that with the housing industry would be pretty big. However, we have a debt problem across the world, and in our country especially, and specifically, because that's where I live and what I focus on, mostly. You can't just get rid of mortgage debt. Although you could, and redo that to where people could even make payments to their credit cards, make payments on other things, cars and everything else that they've got behind on. Just reducing the mortgage payment alone would help pay back that other stuff. However, if you want to do like Iceland and really make a difference, you're going to have to restructure all debt. And that would make it fantastic for everyone, except a tiny group of people this big. And their nickname is Wall Street. And it's the 1%. So do we do what helps the 99%, or do we continue doing what helps the 1%? And if we continue doing what helps the 1%, the 99% suffer, and as a consequence of the 99% suffering, the 1% won't be able to make the money it used to. So it's going to defeat itself later on anyways. But if we fix this problem and let the 99% do it their way, debt reduction for everybody, the 1% is going to take a beating right off the bat, but they're still intact, and they'll start recovering from whatever prices are now, whatever assets they had on book, their book value. They can go to the bathroom and wipe their butt with it and come out with a new book that says, wow, we claimed we had, $2 billion in assets, and we actually have $200 million now. However, you got $200 million, everybody there still has a job, people can start the whole investment process over again, people can start investing back in the stock market again. Great. Now everything's been repriced where it should be. And it would go on. It would work. So I just want to share that with you. This could be a growing thing that starts happening, and I'm actually for it. So take care.